I hope everybody able to see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So, uh, so everybody knows already, I think, right? What is RPA means. So RPA means like robotic process automation, right? Robotic process automation. So nothing, it is nothing but we automate using we automate using RPA tools, yeah, specific business processes. Using RPA, we can automate any existing any business processes which are there in any industries. So for going for RPA automation, we need to consider many factors like whether it is the particular business process, the task is very repetitive in nature, or and whether it is having structured data, and whether it is able to automate different applications which have been developed in using different technologies. So all these three main factors we need to consider before going into RPA automation. So when we say RPA automation, why we call it as RPA automation, and what is the then is there any so obviously there will be a regular traditional automation, right? What will be the difference between these two? So that we will be we need to know, right? So when we say test automation, regular traditional test automation, that is nothing but actually we do automation for validating the software for what basically in software industry they develop software for we're using for various domains. So if we want to validate that functionality working fine or not, so they develop functional test automation, and like that they develop regression test automation, and that is the purpose is limited to validate the functionality of that particular software. Whereas robotic process automation, it is targeted to automate the business process of various industries. So it can be IT automation task, it can be Salesforce business process automation, it can be manufacturing industries, the automation of purchase order system, sales invoice system, accounts payable system, accounts receivable system, like that. So the business processes exist in every industries, every small scale industry, medium scale industries, high level industries, in everywhere the business process involved. Wherever the people doing manually those processes, we can automate those manual processes to automation. So for automation, we use RPA tools basically. That is the main target why we automate. So when we people work manually on particular applications, they used to feed the data manually. So they might have the applications, they might have CRM applications, they might have ServiceNow application, they might have SAP applications, or they might have any applications which have been developed in .NET, Java, all the different applications they might have for their day-to-day activities. But still, people used to manually enter the data if they were manually used to enter the data, and that will take time actually. So to complete that particular task, it will take time, and human intervention it is required there. So using RPA, we target those kind of manual work we will automate using RPA. So if we develop a solution to automate that particular process, So people need not to spend time more on that actually. So we will develop the automation solution and we will deploy the automation solution into the web portal. Maybe we will call it as control room or console, so that we can schedule it to run at any particular time. So on daily basis, on every 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever time we want to run that process, we can schedule it and we can run. So we need not to spend much time for doing it manually. So even we can use multiple bots, where we call it as virtual machines. We can configure our automation solutions into different virtual machines or different bots, and then we will run it parallelly, so that we can achieve that task completion very quickly. So that is the main benefit of RPA automation. And the people started automating their everyday processes. So when we talk about RPA automation, that particular RPA automation tool should be a configurable tool. So configurable tool means, if you want to automate any IT automation task, if you want to automate any business processes, uh, part of any manufacturing industries, for all that, we already the activities, already the commands already developed, and it is part of any particular RPA automation software. Here we are going to learn about Pega OpenSpan. So in Pega OpenSpan, we will be having the various commands or actions which will be already inbuilt functionalities, inbuilt commands we will use to build our automation solution. So that should be able to configurable. So if you want to write a content to an Excel file or to notepad file, we will just configure. So we are not going to write any code. We are going to just configure, and we want to write this content to this particular file. So just mention the path name, the file name, and it will be and pull the corresponding actions, corresponding activities, so that when we build that solution, when we run that solution, automatically it will be interacting with that particular, it will be copy that file, or in that particular folder it will create, and then it will proceed with further operations. Maybe we will copy the content, we copy and paste the information on that file, and we will save that file, and then we enter that data into some other applications. All that we can do it through RPA automation. It should be able to configurable the things. So the configuration is main important here. We are not going to write any code. We just configure and pull relevant activities, and we develop our automation solution. And then any RPA, robotic process automation, it should be able to handle the business roles. So if we take any business process, for example, sales invoice process, purchase order process in the manufacturing industries. If we take any process, that particular business process may have so many steps involved. So before raising a sales invoice, we need to have the proper information, like what products we are going to dispatch to the customer, and how much quantity we are going to dispatch on that product, how many quantities we are going to dispatch, and what is the unit price of each quantity, and we are going to calculate the amount and the total amount, and in GST, is there any sales tax involved in that? So we will be calculating the GST, and then we will be finding the net invoice amount by deducting GST from total invoice amount. So like that, the process be involving the with many steps actually. So how we are going to achieve these many steps? So we are going to pull relevant activities, and we are, if you want to calculate the amount, we will pull activities related to calculation, and we will calculate, and if you want to find the total, if you want to find the net invoice amount, all we will pull relevant activities and we build our solution. There will be, so by doing this we will be addressing all the business rules, and even the business rules may have some decisions also. The business process may have some decision. For example, if inventory in the manufacturing company itself, if the inventory stock goes below certain level, again we need to order for, we need to request for purchase, buying the products. So what we will do, if the we will check that condition in our automation solution, saying if this particular stock goes below certain level, raise the purchase, request for the purchase order. So we will, so the another automation solution, what it will do, it will create the purchase order, and it will send to the, it will be sending to the suppliers. So all that it will be sending via email. So here, like, many the decisions are involved, and we are different steps are involved. We are sending email to the suppliers via Outlook or any Gmail. So all that different applications involved. So so as part of automation, we will automate all this end-to-end process, and then each and every process will be having the sequence of actions. So sequence of actions in the sense, the multiple commands, using multiple commands, using different commands or different actions or activities, we will build our solution. So the actions is the building blocks of the automation solution. And when we say automatic, whenever we are done with developing the automation solution, we will be deploying that solution to a control room, and we will be monitoring. We will start the run, and we will be monitoring the progress, so how much process completed and how much process still pending. We will all monitor that one. So in case of Pega OpenSpan, we have three main components. That one is OpenSpan Pega Robotics Studio. Another one is Pega Runtime, and another one is Pega Console. So these three components are will work together, and it will achieve the seamless automation. So as part of Pega RPA developer, we will be using Pega Robotic Studio for developing our business solution, and then we will be deploying that to the console, and we will be deploying that to runtime, and from runtime we will be monitoring, and also we will deploy it to console, and we will be monitoring the executions. So these are the main three components we involved in Pega OpenSpan. So I'll be giving you all the installation instructions, everything. Once the software tool is installed, then we will be practicing on the Pega, this one, Robotics Studio, how we can develop the process, and we will be starting from scratch and advanced level. We will be learning all the concepts in Pega Robotic OpenSpan. And the main purpose of using RPA is automating the applications which have developed in different technologies. So as I said previously, the applications might have developed in different technology like .NET, Java, SAP, and it may be different CRM applications. So using Pega Robotic Studio, we will target to automate all these applications. Even we can automate desktop applications that we call it as Windows-based applications, and we can automate web-based applications, and we can automate SAP applications. All technologies we can automate using this RPA automation tool. And exception handling. If at all any exception happens during the runtime, we will be addressing at the time of developing itself. We will put the corresponding exception handling, and so that it will not stop during the run, so that it will keep running without any interruption. So all these, while developing the automation solution, will be handling all exception handling and uh, queue management, something called the transaction management. If the automation solution have huge number of transactions, how we are going to handle that, and how we are going to configure that with different bots, so that our execution time will be drastically reduced. So all that we are going to study in the course actually. So till now, any questions?
Ramaswamy, this is good. Yeah, my name is Krishna.
Yeah.
One question is like about, are we primarily focusing on the RPA, or will be also looking into the RTA part of it?
We will be looking into both. So when we say RDA, we will be automating the desktop applications, and when we say RPA, like end-to-end process, we will be looking into this course as part of this course.
Sure. And are we planning to use the robot manager?
Yes, robot manager, it's like I said, control room, right? So for that, we will be using robot manager component as the control room. We will be using robot manager that will be monitoring our automation solutions. Yes, we will be study about robot manager also. So we will be studying about robot studio, Pega robotic studio, and robot manager, and runtime. So how we are going to deploy and run in using runtime component.
Sure, thanks. And also like just wondering about basically in 8.4 they're advertising primarily saying that it's all in all, right? So like where robotics is becoming part of the platform itself.
Yeah.
So like what is the compatibility for example, if you take 8 or 8.4, is there a different runtime, like which version will be targeting in our practice?
The practice, when we say 8, 8.1, 8.3, 8.4 and all, so the business, the solutions, right? See, suppose in 8.0, there may be less number of inbuilt functionalities deployed, and in 8.1, 8.3 and all, there will be enhancements will be there in terms of activities. So whatever the inbuilt functionalities we use in that particular component, they put a lot of inbuilt functionalities over there. So the core thing will be the same only. So for example, in 8.0, they may give activities for Salesforce automation. In 8.1, they may give automation solutions for automating IT automation tasks. So in 8. So like this, the activities will be they will be keep improving their product. So so that they will be enhancing the existing flow and existing activities, and the latter version keep coming in that. So for us to start with, we are good with start with 8.1 or 8.3, not at all an issue, but we will be concentrating on at least the maximum version 8.4 will be concentrating. We'll be working on that.
Thanks.
The latest version is 19.1, so probably we'll be working on the latest version 19.1 or 8.4. That I will update you before starting the class.
Ramaswamy, sorry for interrupting. I can supply the latest version for all the participants if required. Okay.
Okay, sure, Balaji. So latest version you have it, right? Then that's fine. So we will be working on the latest version in that.
Thank you.
So as part of this course, we will be automating. So I will be giving you different projects also, like we are going to complete in 30 hours. Within that 30 hours itself, I am going to give you 2-3 projects to automate. So one project is about web application, how we are going to automate end-to-end flow using Pega Robotics Studio, and then we will be automating desktop based application. So one end-to-end flow of desktop application, so that you will be applying all the concepts, whatever you are learning, you will be applying all the concepts there, and you'll be practicing. So during the course itself, you can ask all the questions wherever you are stuck with, you can ask, and I will give you the solutions, and we will make that project in working condition. So this so that you will be very clear, and you will be understanding all the concepts clearly.
Sure. And also, like, basically, recently, like, I don't know if you have seen the Pega Academy, right? So they revamped and revised the robotics also. So do we have to draw any parallel with the Pega's course for automation, or this will be completely independent of that?
This will be so whatever you see in academy, this will be dependent on that also. So we are not going to like differently with academy and all. So when we study about when we study about studio, we will be studying all the concepts in that. So for example, how we are going to do the email automation, how we are going to do the PDF automation, and how we are reading the content from various files, and how we are copying and pasting the information to the different files. So all that, and how we are mainly how we are interacting with the applications, how we are interacting with the applications, how we are capturing the objects to the objects to the repository, and how we are automating it, and everything. It's a standard, it's a common for across the applications. So in academy, what they have given is they have segregated that for the role based. For example, business analyst can do this course, the technical developer can do this course, like the system architect can do this course, like that they have segregated, and the many videos are available. But in our course, we will be concentrating the overall picture actually. So when you are done with this course, independently you will be able to automate your task using OpenSpan, Pega Robotic OpenSpan. You will be able to automate individual process.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we will be able to take the certification as well at once.
Yes, certification, obviously we have so many certifications are available on role based. So whenever you are completing this course, you should be able to appear for the certification exam. You should be able to clear the exam. So that much knowledge you will be having in the course actually.
Thank you.
Ramaswamy, this is Balaji.
Yeah, Balaji.
By any chance, shall we walk through a small example?
The small example right now, I haven't installed the tool yet.
Oh.
So I only have the slides for
Got it.
RPA overview.
Okay.
So whatever discussed, like sequence of actions, all this part of RPA overview actually. So in the next class, we will be going through the tool. We will be installing the tool first, and we can start with the actually at least one demo, end-to-end demo I will be giving, and then we will start with the course.
Shall we plan tomorrow or day after tomorrow?
We can plan day after tomorrow.
All right.
So tomorrow I have some marriage function. So
Right.
day after
Sure,
tomorrow we can start with.
Sure. I'll invite the participants for day after tomorrow event also. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And I request all the participants, if any questions, you please carry on.
Any questions?
No. So Balaji, like this is Krishna, but for the course itself, right, to formally
Robotic process automation, that's whatever I explained. So when we say configurable software, it is inbuilt functionality. So for each business process wise, for example, Salesforce automation, we will be having the inbuilt functionality so that whoever works in Salesforce automation, they will use that activities. They can drag and drop, and they can build their solutions. So they need not to have any coding knowledge, because the functionalities are inbuilt actually. So for if we go for IT automation, then already the tasks are inbuilt actually. We can import that, and we can pull that related activities, and we can build our solution. So that's what we say that as the configurable software. And business rules, as I discussed, the RPA software should be able to handle all the business rules and decisions involved in that. All it should be able to handle it. And sequence of actions, as I talked, it is the building blocks of the automation solutions. So it's like commands or activities. We will pull them individual activities, and we will develop our automation solutions. And the main thing is what kind of process can be automated, how complex the process can be automated. All that when we talk about that one, yes, we can automate simple process, and we can automate complex process also using RPA tool. Here it is, Pega OpenSpan. So when we say automatic, how we are going to configure, how we are going to schedule it to run the process automatically from the control room, from the robo manager. So it's about that automatic. So different applications, in the sense, as I talked, the applications might have developed in different technologies. We are going to automate we will be able to automate those applications. And mainly, who can study this course? Pretty much from all the fields, the people can study this course, because using RPA automation, we can automate any process from any industries. So for example, executives, operational leadership, delivery, information technology, information security, from HR department, risk office, all these area, the lot of manual process involved, and we can target for the automation. The people working in these fields, they can mainly use RP automation to automate their processes. And the main benefits of RPA is actually whatever we discussed till now. That is the main benefits of the RPA. Mainly like the manual process need not to be repeated. So we will automate that one, so that we can we can run it quickly, and we can reduce the cost on manual processes. We can reduce the cost. So these and all, and the execution time will be drastically reduced. These are the main benefit of RPA. And again, the same slide. This talks about same slide. So what kind of, again, when we say technologies, what kind of technologies, what kind of automation we will do? So we will do the desktop automation. We will do web-based automation, GUI automation, screen scraping, Citrix automation we will do, because the applications might have deployed in Citrix server. So we will be connecting to the Citrix server, and we will be automating the application hosted on the Citrix server. So all that we can do using RP automation. And mainframe automation, mainframe applications we can automate. SAP automation, in SAP itself we have HANA migration, we can do that. Excel automation, macro recorder, we can automate all these technologies. Yeah, that's all about general RPA overview. So that from the next class, what we will be doing is we will be installing the tool, and we will be I will be giving you one end-to-end demo of any web-based automation or desktop automation. So I will give one end-to-end demo, and then we will start with the course from the scratch to advanced level. So that's all for today. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.
Yeah, Ramaswamy, Satya here.
Yeah, Satya.
Yeah. So for this course, do we need to learn .NET, anything like specific?
We need not to learn any .NET. Specifically, we need not to learn any .NET, because this is RPA automation. We are not going to we no need to have coding knowledge, because as I said, all activities come as inbuilt. It's a configurable thing. We will just drag and drop the activities, and we build our automation. So we need not to have any coding knowledge. The people from different field, different areas, they can also automate. Even business analyst also, if they automate, they can automate using RPA tool. So all business people also can automate. They need not to be a technical people. Business people also, they can automate, because that is the main benefit of RPA. So codeless testing, so codeless automation.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And for the next session, like it's going to be a demo, right? So is there any prerequisite, like from the system standpoint, like do we have to have anything
For
else?
next session, you probably need not to have. I will install the tool in my machine, and I will share the screen. I will go through the tool overview, Pega Robotic Studio. I will go through the tools overview, and then I will execute a sample process. I will give you one end-to-end flow of one process, so that you'll be having the end-to-end view of that particular tool. So from your side, nothing is required. So once my demo is over, then when we start with the course, the right after next day, maybe that time we will first, I will guide you how to install the tool in all your laptops, and then we will start with the course. So whenever we started with the course, whenever you have doubts, and we can clarify in the class first 10 minutes or so, and then we will continue our regular classes.
And are we expecting the same time, or it's going to be like 6:30 IST?
Hi, this is Balaji.